Hello, and thank you for joining us for another live webinar session brought to you by Tech Media and allaboutcircuits.com. My name is Jason Montgomery, and I'll be moderating this session today. The title of our session, brought to you by Omron, is Bash Button and Lighting Solutions for the Casino Gaming Market. We will have a few polls that are coming up throughout the session as well that we would appreciate your engagement with. And also, there will be a live Q&A that is done after this presentation as well, where Patrick and I will get to go over any questions that you have submitted during this presentation. Let me tell you a bit about our presenter, and then I will hand it over to him. Our presenter today is Patrick Lahey, who's a business development manager at Omron Electronic Components with over 9 years of technology experience. He started his career at Omron as a product manager, working 1 year directly with engineers at Omron in Japan, and he's passionate about creating technology products that are valuable, usable, and feasible. He's well known for his expertise in bash, button, and lightning and component technologies for the casino gaming industry. Looking forward to this presentation, everyone, and as a reminder, again, please submit any questions that you might have so that we can go over that during the Q&A. And with that, I will hand it off to Patrick.
Thank you, Jason. And hello, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Patrick Lahey, and I'm the Business Development Manager here at Omron Electronic Components. Today, I have the pleasure with walking you through our bash button and lighting technology solutions for the casino gaming market. Throughout today's webinar, there will be several poll questions that will pop up throughout the webinar, and it will come up on the bottom left hand of your screen. Before every poll question pops up, I will state the question, and then I will provide you guys with a little bit of time to give your response. There'll be a couple of different multiple choice options that you can choose from. Before I kick off and start today's webinar, I would like to bring the first poll question to light. And this is a simple one for you guys. It's simply, what brings you to today's webinar? Now I will give you about 30 seconds to provide your responses. All right, thank you for getting your answers in, and now I will officially kick off the webinar. So throughout today's webinar, the agenda will be, I will briefly start with an introduction of Omron and kind of bring you up to speed of who we are as a company and our history in the casino gaming market. I will then proceed to bring up our bash button technology. Well, I will introduce you to the technology itself, along with its key features and benefits that we'll have for you, our customer. And lastly, I will round it out by finishing with our STP lighting technology, and again, highlighting the key features and benefits that it will bring you, our customer. So to start off, I wanted to introduce Omron Corporation. We are a Japanese company that was founded in 1933 in Kyoto, Japan. Since then, we've had about 40 plus years in the amusement market, starting with the Japanese amusement market with the traditional pachinko and pachi slots that they have over in Japan. From there, our gaming market grew to such, good business that we decided in 2004 to kind of open up like a strategic division of Omron for the gaming division, which will carry all functions for the casino gaming market, which include sales function located globally, engineering located in Japan, and manufacturing located throughout Asia. With that gaming division, we decided to expand to the US gaming market roughly in 2010. For the product lineup, on the bottom of our screen, you can see that we have sensors. We have lighting illuminations that I will go through today. We also have button switches. We have IC chips and other LED drives. We have power supplies. We have coin and ball handling units. And we have that marketing system for the operators. With this, I will quickly go over our gaming market's key features and strength. So we have specialized in the gaming market by becoming an application solution-based company. We chose the application of slot machines, and we chose to really bring solutions and technology that are geared specifically for that exact application of the slot machine. So with that, we've aimed to create one-of-a-kind custom solutions and products to be suitable for each application within the gaming environment. Our business style is one of our key strengths, as we are a market and application-oriented company. We're not just going to sell you solutions that are for other industries that might just happen to go into slot machine. Again, we are really trying to focus on the specific needs of the market to bring the specific technology that's only going to be used for you guys, our customers. With that, we understand that in today's day and market, your guys' development timelines are very quick, very fast. So we have built our business style and our product lifecycle or product development to be very quick action to meet the needs of you guys to formulate your development timeline and projects. From a technology and development side, we have a lot of different kind of product portfolios to introduce to the market, whether they are application technologies, which are basically technologies that are specific for the application, or whether it's the wide range of technologies, for instance, switches or optical sensors that we could promote to a wide range of industries that also are very suitable for the casino gaming market. From a production standpoint, we understand that the needs in a slot machine or any kind of manufacturing position within casino gaming is going to need some small lot sizes all the way up to big volume. So our production lines are set up to handle anywhere from 5,000 pieces a year up to 1 million pieces a year. So we want to really understand and meet the volume that is required. So with that, we've noticed a trend in the slot machine market. So slot machines of the past used to have a lot of borders, had different displays, had a lot of different buttons on the button deck. And currently we are moving into more of a singular monitor for the entire slot machine and then one monitor for the display or for the button deck. That could be an LCD screen with a touch monitor, but they're going to a lot of different displays within the virtual button deck. They're eliminating the borders that were created by the buttons and going to just one big LCD display. And even in the future, we see them eliminating maybe going from 3 displays on a slot machine just to one big horizontal or slanted display for the slot machine cabinet itself. So with that, I would like to take the time and ask one more additional poll question. And this one is, are you currently looking for innovative ways to differentiate your cabinet on the showroom floor? And now I will give you 30 seconds to provide a response. Okay, thank you for your responses. And now I think what you guys have all been waiting for, I will jump into our general purpose bash button. So for this slide, I just wanted to kind of introduce you to our concept for the general purpose bash button. So our concept was to develop and design a water resistant, low profile button that carried 3 key features. One of those key features was the seamless housing design. So we really wanted to provide a bash button that could seamlessly blend into the button deck housing design. We don't want it to be seen. We don't want it to stick out. We want it to just blend in and be a part of the button deck as if it was really meant to be there. The second key feature that we try to hit is the high degree of freedom in being able to design and place that button deck anywhere on the button deck operation. So what that means is because of our bash button having this see-through key top, you could place that bash button anywhere on the LCD display screen and you could still utilize the LCD underneath it. Whether that bash button is going on the right, the left, the center, it will be able to be placed anywhere within the button deck. We also wanted to hit the key feature of high durability and water resistant. So we were able to create high durability of over 4 million life cycles. And also we were able to achieve IP67 through the packaging of our product with the gasket and the unique structure around the key top that enables waterproofness. So with those three key features for our concept, we were able to create the general purpose bash button. So again, here are the overview of the benefits that our bash button will provide to the slot machine. The first benefit is a catchy design. So this will help attract the interest of surrounding visitors or players to your slot machine, and it will allow them to want to play your slot, sit down at your game, and continue to be immersed in the whole experience. The way our button does that is we enable you to, again, put that anywhere on the virtual button deck and then still utilize the LCD underneath the see-through key top of the bash button. With that being said, that LCD can have any kind of display, a graphic, a logo that is shown through the bash button that attracts the player. It could be spin, it could be win now, it could be coins being thrown around. It's a catchy way to catch the eye of any player while they're walking past your machine. Also, it provides an impressive concept of your slot machine, and it makes an opportunity for new potential players. So because our general purpose bash button is newer to the market and is different and offers a premium experience than other traditional bash buttons out there, a player might walk past your slot, see our bash button, and think, wow, I've never seen that kind of concept. That's really cool. I want to play this. So it gives them a different type of slot machine than they may not be normally used to. Thirdly, is with those first two concepts, the impressive machine, the catchy design, and also the feel of our bash button, it creates a fun effect for the player, and it really immerses them into the gaming environment, and it will keep them entertained playing your slot machine again and again and again. Here are some further key features of the GPBB. I won't dive into all of these or go into in depth in all of these because I think a lot of the key features have been hit already throughout this webinar. But let me quickly highlight this again. So the key feature of design freedom, it allows our bash button to be placed anywhere on the LCD operation deck. So if you look to the right image, you will see that this is like kind of our concept idea for our bash button, where you have the circular silver bezel that is our bash button, and then it is a see-through key top that allows you to see the LCD operation deck underneath. Thus, anything that you show on that LCD operation deck will come through and be shown through the bash button. So in this case, you could put on the LCD display, you could put the word spin, and it can even rotate, and the players could see the button, the word spin rotating in it, and it can draw them in to, okay, hey, I want to play this game. Also, we have the lowest profile bash button. So this is designed to be integrated into the operation deck LCD and really seamless design into the LCD. So because there is no mechanical components like traditional bash buttons, it is lower profile, will not stick out, and it's more of a seamless design, and it's a very cool, modern kind of style slot machine instead of a traditional big push buttons, very high height mechanical buttons that kind of just stick out in our sore eye. Lastly, again, the durability and waterproof. So the durability of 4 million operations plus, we're saying that it's going to be a minimum of 4 million operations. We know that these are sitting on casino floors. They're getting played daily, hourly, every minute. So we know that durability has to be key. Also, there's a high sealability. We know that within any casino floor, there's a large amount of presence of liquids, whether it's alcohol, water, soda, solvents that will spray and clean the machine. So we wanted to make sure that we have prevented water ingress for IP67 and try to have good strength against the ingress of other types of liquids that could come in contact with the button deck. And lastly, here are the key benefits for slot machine. This is more of what I want you kind of to take away. You're going to get inundated with a lot of different spec, this, and this throughout this webinar, but what I really want you to take away are the benefits for your slot machine, which are catchy design, impressive, different concept, and a fun, immersive environment for your player. And on top of those all three key features, we also provided a better and another key benefit, which is better maintenance. So because we have excellent durability and water resistance, your bash buttons will be having quality issues far less. So you will be having to change the button deck or send a maintenance technician out into the field to change anything. So less maintenance. Also, I will show you later how we are mounted within the glass, but we offer very easy replacement to typical mechanical kind of maybe having to screw it in or solder it into the PCB. We offer it just in some kind of mounted bracking that allows you to simply screw off the bracket and replace it. So very easy to replace and maintenance the bash button itself. Here's our main specification. The key highlights I want to point out are the total travel of 1.5 millimeters, the bezel being material of chrome or chrome bezel, the operating durability of 4 million cycles or more, the total thickness of 14.2 millimeters, and that includes some of the mounting bracket that will be below the glass. So it's not 14.2 millimeters above the glass. The 14.2 millimeters includes glass thickness and the piece of the bash button that is going to be below the glass to lock it in. Next point is the recommended glass thickness for this is going to be 3 millimeters. And then here's that product mounting. So our product does mount into the glass that you would have over the LCD. So the glass thickness would be 3 millimeters. We have the top portion of our product, which would be the actual push button or the bash button. And then underneath, we have the latch that you would put on, or the bracket you would put on, and it would latch to the bracket, and you would rotate it and lock it into place. So the top part of our bash button, the bottom part of our bash button, and the glass, that is what equals a total thickness of 14.2 millimeters. And that will sit all above the LCD screen. So one of the things I also want to note about this for the assembly is because we are seamless into the glass, you will actually have to make a hole in the glass that our bash button would get mounted into. And we can recommend the whole diameter, thickness, and all of that. So when you guys are going to assemble, we will provide recommendations on the correct way and proper way to mount this into your glass on your button deck. So, I'm here introducing a new concept for our bash button. It uses a pressure sensor. It's not the same kind of mechanical switch. So I wanted to kind of highlight some of the key differences and benefits of our Omron bash button versus the typical mechanical switches that you would see in the market today. So for the display, because of that, we have that key top that is see-through. We have a variable display, meaning that you could show any wording graphic that is on your LCD through the key top of the bash button. Where on the current mechanical switches that you find in today's market, you have to have some kind of fixed display or fixed statement on the switch. So if you wanted to say bet, it could only say bet. If you wanted to say spin, it could only say spin. Whereas with Omron's bash button, it can say a multitude of different statements or images underneath the bash button. The attachment, our attachment is on the LCD, the glass, whereas the mechanical is separate from LCD, so you would have to create a separate assembly, therefore more components and maybe a harder processing. Our thickness is going to be thinner, so your slot machine button deck can be thinner and more modern and sleek for the end user. We have high waterproof and high durability. where the mechanical solutions are normal or maybe 2 million, 2.5 million cycle operations, and they do not have waterproof. So if you wanted to waterproof that area with the mechanical switch, you would have to do that all yourselves in-house. Where with Omron solution, we do that ourselves, so you don't have to worry about it. And that is it for our bash button technology. Before I get into our STP lighting technology, I have one, not the last poll question, but I have one more poll question to ask. And it is, are you currently working on a new design and open to new bash button and lighting solutions? Again, the poll question will pop up, and please provide your question or your answer, sorry. And now I will wait 30 seconds for you guys to provide your responses. Excuse me. All right, I think I've seen quite a bit of responses come in, so now I will get back to introducing our STP lighting technology. So first, I kind of wanted to introduce to you the STP lighting technology. So STP stands for see-through panel, which is essentially our technology. So what this see-through panel is, it's an acrylic panel that we can etch any custom graphic logo image onto it, whether it's a statement of Omron, or it could be an animal like a cheetah or a tiger. It literally could be any graphic or logo that you guys think of. So with that, we can etch this graphic into the acrylic panel. And the other second feature of it is the transparency. So the acrylic panel is transparent. So if you look at the bottom left of the screen, if you look at the left where it says turn off, this is where the LEDs are not activated and the panel is just a transparent see-through panel. But once you activate the LEDs, that graphic or whatever is etched on the panel will activate and be shown. So in this case, when the LEDs are activated and turn on, you could see the diamond that is shown in the middle, kind of giving it like a 3D floating look to it. So this is our STP lighting technology. It is the actual ability to etch any custom graphic in the panel and have it shown once LEDs are activated. And finally, it's a very simple structure. So Omron would provide the panel, and then you guys would have the LEDs to interact with the panel. But really all it is to get this custom logo is a panel and then the LEDs. So with that, I kind of wanted to introduce our design and development process. This is key because it's a custom solution. We have to work very closely with you, the customer, to bring your vision for what kind of image or graphic you would want to life. So with that, starting all the way to the left, we start our planning phase. So it kind of starts with this. We introduce you to our technology. If you guys have some kind of need of graphic or image or logo that you guys think you want to utilize this technology for, we could start having the discussions to plan and set the concept or design of the panel. From there, we move to the design phase where Omron would produce a demo kit of the panel with your logo, and then we would ship it to you to kind of see what your feedback is on how it looks, the modifications, the improvements. Once all of that is done and we think we finally have set the demo of it, we start with a prototype. From there, we develop the prototype. We again ship it out to you guys, and we want to hear your feedback on the look of it. Oh, this could be brighter, this could be different. After we do that prototype and we move on to the test sample, where the test sample would use more tooling, we're like soft tooling where we're getting closer to production. And the test sample would say, okay, with the production tooling that we've invested, here's your panel. If this is good to go, we will proceed with mass production, and then we move to the mass production phase. So with that 5-step process of our design and development, it typically can take anywhere from 6 months onward, depending on the complexity of the design itself. And our core competence for our technology is the transparency. So you can put this panel in front of an LCD screen or in front of any kind of monitor, or you can put it in front of mechanical reels. And as long as the LEDs are not activated, you could see through the panel as if it's not there and just interact with the LCD or whatever's behind that as normal. And then once the LEDs are activated, the image would all of a sudden appear. So transparency is one of our core components. With that, also the brightness that is maintained throughout the panel is another core competence. So the way that we etch the graphic on the panel, it helps assure that we are going to get similar brightness the closer you are to the LEDs, and then the further you get from the LEDs. So I think if you know LEDs and you know kind of light panels and things like that, the farther you get from the LED, like there's a fall off in the brightness or the color of it. Well, with our technology, we are able to maintain that kind of high brightness, high color visibility all throughout the panel. With that, also, we have a flexible design and effects. Flexible design meaning there is no standard product. So our standard product is the STP technology that we're able to etch the graphic. So flexible design meaning we're able to create any kind of image, logo, and like, again, give you your ultimate, like one-of-a-kind solution that you're looking for. Whether we write on there, bathroom in use, out of use, we can do shadow effects, we can do letters, numbers, anything. So the flexible design and effects is what you guys are wanting, we can do. So some of the key features of STP, and I know I've already kind of went over those, so I apologize. But one of them is a customized one-of-a-kind solution. So if you look to the right in that image, those are 3 different panels, all with different kind of graphics on each panel. So we don't, again, have any standard portfolio. We really want to work directly with you, the customer, in creating any kind of one-of-a-kind solution that you guys want, whether it's your own company logo, whether it's a statement from some game that you're creating, or whether it's an animal like a panda or anything that you want to put on there. Each panel will be specifically one of a kind for you and you alone. No other customer on the market will have that kind of panel. The other key feature is the transparency. So I know I've already kind of stated this, so I want to say it in a different way. So you could have, a display, an LCD monitor interacting with the gamer, the player is playing. They're usually looking at the reels, and all of a sudden they win a big jackpot. And instead of the display changing, the display stays the same, but all of a sudden coins start shooting up across the screen. Well, those coins could be on our STP, and they almost look like they're coming out of nowhere because it's on a panel that you cannot see. So each coin, it's like it's a 3D coin. So that's kind of how you could utilize the panel's transparency to create a better, different environment for your player. Lastly is the bright and attractive illumination. So with our STP panels, they're very bright and attractive, so they will draw in players when they're walking across the casino floor. So when working with you guys, the customer, we typically like to, give some expertise as to how maybe they can attract players in a different way. Again, differentiating yourself on the casino floor from all the other slot machine cabinets that are out there. So lastly, here are some other key features of STP. And this has to do more with production and assembly. So almost key features for you, the customer, not necessarily for the player itself, but for you, the customer, definitely some key features. One is the production method. So STP can be produced in any kind of production volume, from 5K pieces to 15 to 100K pieces and more. The reason is it's all done by injection molding. So it's very easy production method. On top of that, we can reuse the molding die. So as long as the panel shape, if the panel shape is 150 millimeter by 150 millimeter, we could reuse the same mold and create that same panel over and over, even if you want to change the imagery or the graphic that is on that panel. So once there's an investment in the die, there can be changes made to the panel, but we can still maintain and use that same die. So it helps limit and reduce initial investments and investments that might need to be made further along in the life cycle stage. Thirdly, STP is a very thin panel. It's a 2 millimeter acrylic panel. So it can be installed in very narrow places or very thin where space is at a premium. So here I kind of just want to show you some ideas of where this technology can be used, how it can be used, what the graphics look like, and things like that. So I think maybe right now you guys are probably confused, maybe saying, what's Patrick talking about? Like, it's hard to picture. So here I kind of just want to show you some panels that we have put together our own to kind of give you a concept as far as what we're talking about. Easiest way I can say it. So here's like kind of, STP lineup. So this panel, like you could do beams in the top left-hand corner. So each LED, we just etch a beam, and then you can have different RGB, the beams get shot. So you can have almost like a beam look on your panel. In the bottom left-hand corner, there's like a sparkling shutter. So you can almost, I know there's some films out there that will kind of give like a sparkle to it, and you could put that film over LEDs and kind of give it that. Well, we take our panel and we create a very cool like sparkle shutter inside the panel, and that's the design or that's the graphic in it. So it creates that like shine or that sparkle. We also can do scales, like almost like fish scales to kind of give again another different look. And we can also do like curved scales or just curved STP panels in general. Now, when we curve the panel, we will have to work on how far we can actually curve it. We are limited into how much we can curve because of the viewing angle it creates for the user. You might not get it might not simulate the effect that you're trying to get so nicely. But we are able to curve these panels as well. So for this, I do apologize. So some of these graphics are supposed to move, and I just think that it's not cooperating right now. But for the top part, we are able to put different logos on one panel. So we can actually put up to 4 graphics on one panel. If we do put 4 graphics on one panel, you will have to put LEDs on each side, top, bottom, and the edges, the side. And then depending on if you activate the right side or the left side or the top side or the bottom side will depend on which graphic will show. So if you operate the top LEDs and activate those, it will show one image. If you deactivate those and then activate the bottom ones, it will show a different image. So you can have 4 images on one panel. So for that image, when you look at the top left, that circle, for this particular demo, we have the bottom LEDs activated, so the circle appears. For the picture on the right, we have the top LEDs activated, so the triangle appears. And then when we activate both of them, you will see both images. So that is just a way that we kind of simulate how it would look for 2 different graphics. Also on the bottom, the second row there, again, I apologize, these were supposed to move. If you put 2 graphics on one panel and hit both LEDs at the same time, it will create a rotating image. So that bottom, or the panel in the middle, it almost looks like a disco ball. So that disco ball actually rotates and kind of creates like a disco ball environment or look to it. So depending on how many images we put on the panel, you can actually have them rotate and like almost come to life and be animated. Also, we can do high definition. So like I was saying with animals, we can get very good resolution and like very intricate designs. Also on the right, we could do aerial imaging. So we could combine our panels. We could put two panels, a mirror, a diffuser, and almost create this like aerial 3D image. And that's what we're trying to create with that bottom right. And here's just some further recommended or concepts that I have for STP designs. Again, whether it's scales, letters, shapes, lightning, or different kinds of effects, we really could etch any kind of graphic on this panel. So, these designs are really trying to get your juices flowing, your brain going to say, oh, wow, like now I saw, B003, I might have this kind of concept that they could do. So these are all to recommend for you to kind of get your brain going to see, oh, you know what? I saw this, maybe they could do this. So it's all just to kind of give you some ideas. So with that, that's the end of my technology introduction. But before I let you guys go, I think all of you who are in the casino gaming environment will know very much about what's approaching, and that's G2E 2022, or the Global Gaming Expo. So if you guys are planning to visit G2E 2022, please contact myself, Patrick Lahey, at patrick.lahey@omron.com to arrange your meeting and see our new technology demos in person at our Omron private room. So we are going to be but we will have a private room at G2E that's just off the showroom floor. It's still at the Venetian, so it's not like you'd have to walk to a different resort or anything like that. And we will have about 10 to 15 product demos, concept demos, things of that nature. So with that, those demos will be either our bash button technologies. So we will actually have this GPBB there for you guys to see, but also a lot of other different kinds of new development concepts for bash buttons. We also have a lot of different lighting technology demos. So we take our STP technology and we create a lot of conceptual demos, whether it's like a huge lighting tower that rotates, or just like a simple panel that says Big Win. We do have a lot of lighting technology demos that will help give you a feel for what kind of lighting technologies Omron can do. And the last one is, I don't want to kind of give it away, but we have also some different newer concepts, newer products that might be a little bit different than when you think of Omron for today. So again, I encourage you guys to all contact me, Patrick Lahey, at patrick.lahey@omron.com, if you will be attending G2E and would be wanting to meet with Omron to allow me and my team to give you an introduction and show of our demos. Also, to kind of sweeten the deal, if you are going and you are going to arrange your meeting with me, you can receive a complimentary Expo Hall Pass. So you can save some money. So with that, I will say that I have one last final poll question. And I think it's an easy one. Simply, will you be attending G2E this year? And if you are, what are you most excited about? And again, I'll give you 30 seconds here to give in your responses. All right, I think that will now close the poll questions for today. So lastly, I know we will have a Q&A session after this, but if you have any questions today, weeks from now, years from now, feel free to contact us. So again, my name is Patrick Lahey. I'm the Business Development Manager at Omron, and my email is patrick.lahey@omron.com. And also, you can find us at the below. So our America's head office is located in Hoffman Estates, which is a suburb of Chicago, Illinois. And our website is components.omron.com. So that is COMPONENTS.OMRON.CO. And you can also follow us and find us on social media. We also have LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. So with that, I just want to officially say thank you for all of your time, and I hope that you were able to take something away and learn something about Omron or our new technologies. And now I will officially hand it back over to Jason, who will be the moderator for our Q&A session. Again, thank you for your time. And Jason, take it away.
Hey, Patrick, this is Jason. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. We're good
Okay.
to go. Thank you very much for that excellent presentation. I think we got some good questions coming in, and I know we got lots of responses in those polls. As a reminder to everyone, you can submit questions in that Q&A box on your screen, and let's see what we've got time to go through right now, Patrick. First question that I'm seeing is there an audible click feedback from the bash button?
Great question. So there is no audible click feedback. So our bash button uses a pressure sensor. So typically with the mechanical switch, you will hear the contacts switch over with like an audible click or tactile feedback. So our bash button does not have that. But what I would say is that the customers can design the software to provide that audible click within their cabinet itself. So when the player hits our bash button, like the actual cabinet would have that audio sound of the click feedback.
Got it. Thank you. Another question that I'm seeing here is, what thickness of glass is the bash button compatible with?
So our general purpose bash button is compatible with 3mm thickness glass. We are looking to develop our technology further to work with thinner or even thicker glasses, but right now we have settled with the 3mm glass thickness.
And what's the durability or the life cycle of these?
So our bash button comes with the durability of 4 million cycles minimum. So that means we know that for a fact it will achieve 4 million cycles and quite often achieves far greater. So Omron is kind of conservative with our spec, where we usually get a lot longer of life out of our product. But for this one in particular, it's a minimum of 4 million life cycles.
Perfect. Thank you. Another question, I know you were talking about some IP ratings and seals. Is the bash button resistant to other liquids besides water?
Yeah, so we, the IP67 covers usually like the ingress of water, but we obviously know that on a daily basis within the casino environment, there is often other liquids that come into contact, like alcohol, wine, beer, some soda, and different chemicals, things like that. So we do have further test data that shows that we do protect against that. But within our spec, we only guarantee against the ingress of water, but we can do further testing with you guys directly, the customers, to figure that out.
Got it. That makes sense. Another question that I'm seeing here, Patrick, how many designs can be on one panel for the STP?
So we have the ability to etch up to 4 graphics images designs on one panel. Because it's a side lit panel, you could have 4 different images that interact with each different edge of the LED. So the top LED, the side LEDs, and the bottom LED. Usually when we get very intricate designs, like for instance, if you're going to be doing animals or something like that, it's a little bit more difficult to put multiple images on one panel because they start to get a little bit jaded and like there's a little bit of a carryover between when you see the image when you're not supposed to see it versus when you're supposed to see it. So we'd have to work directly with you guys on what kind of images you want to put on there. But typically, yes, we can do up to 4 images on one panel.
And I'm seeing another question here. I think this ties into what you were just talking about. Someone's asked, how does the design process for the image shown on the panels work? What's that like?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so we, of course, we do have some recommended, images on a panel, but that's mostly like shapes and design. So what we get is a lot of customers want to do their company logo, or they want to do a specific image that ties to their game that they're designing. So we start by getting the recommendation from you, the customer, and kind of seeing what you guys want to do. And then we provide our recommendation back. And then we work together to settle on the graphic. And then once we settle on the graphic, we start to put that graphic on one panel, and we kind of make a demo prototype panel. And then we ship it out to you guys. And then once you guys are able to evaluate it and make sure that the image looks exactly how you guys want it to look, and it gives off that visual imagery that you want your customer to see, then we can ultimately then finalize it and move on to the production of it.
And I think that you spoke to this some, but maybe we can just circle back to it. Another question I'm seeing is, will Omron provide recommendations for where to align the LEDs?
Yeah, so while we only sell the panel, like that's our technology, we will definitely be able to provide recommendations on where to place the LEDs and the spacing of those LEDs. Again, it's all to give off that look, that desired look that you guys want. So we can definitely provide recommendations on the placement of the LEDs in order to give off the best look and feel of the lighting solution.
And then does Omron supply the LEDs in the driver?
So we don't supply the LEDs. So we do have an LED driver that we could provide. But again, usually we just provide the panel, and then the customer would source the LEDs from whoever. We also work with we have recommended LEDs that you guys could purchase. So we can also provide recommendations for that. But you guys would have to contact that supplier to purchase the LEDs. And then for the drivers, you guys can use other LED drivers. You guys can use our own, and we could work on that as well.
Just got another question in right now, Patrick, about the shapes of the panels. The question is, can panels be different shapes other than a square? And if so, does that allow for more than 4 images?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the panels can be any kind of shape. Where we run into our limitation is the curvature of the panel. So, flat panels, we can do any kind of size, shape, triangles, things like that. But when you start to curve the panel, whenever you kind of curve the panel, it changes the viewing angle of it. So we only have we have to be able to curve it to like a 40-degree radius, and that's our tolerance. And also, no matter what shape or curve of the panel, we can only do 4 images because it's how we laser etch the graphic into the panel. So we are always limited to just 4 graphics per panel. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yes, I think so. Thank you. Well, Patrick, I think that looks like we got through the first batch of questions here. Everyone, we got a little bit more time. If you have anything else that you'd like to submit, Patrick, is there anything else while we are giving the audience another chance to submit any other questions? Anything else that you want to reemphasize, or anything else we should be covering here as we might be getting close to closing out the session?
No, again, there's my contact information on the screen. So please just reach out to me if you want to take discussions further, or if you want to get a demo or have me come visit. I can bring out some STP demos and the bash buttons to see in person. Or again, if you guys are going to be at G2E, I look forward to meeting you guys there. So thank you again for your time today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Patrick. I want to thank Patrick Lahey and Omron for joining us here for this session, and all of our attendees for joining us for this live session and Q&A. I will just also note, I get the pleasure of working with a lot of different experts in this industry, and I always find the people at Omron to be among the most responsive and helpful that I've come across, certainly. So I recommend to everyone here on the line, definitely reach out to Patrick. Let him know if you're coming to any shows he'll be at, and I know he'll be happy to help. When we end this session, we will be getting pushed out to a page where you'll see other webinars that have been put up on allaboutcircuits.com. My name is Jason Montgomery with EE Tech Media and All About Circuits. And thank you again to Patrick, Omron, and everyone who took the time to join us here today. And we look forward to seeing you at another live session again sometime soon.